Hey, haven't seen you in a while. About 2 months to be more precise. Many things changed in that time. For example, I no longer main Guardian, I kinda main Tamer nowadays. I'm more like Heilang to be more specific. And also they released Dehkia Sulfur, Dehkia Pila. We got new spots, things to talk about. So yeah, let's discuss about Pila, Dehkia Pila jail. I imagine for most of you this is a pretty boring spot and there's not really much to discover. You already had plenty of time to figure it out and you kind of are right if that's your opinion. Yeah, it is a very basic spot. It's a treasure spot. You come here for the map pieces and if you don't need them, you kinda don't really have a purpose to be here. But if you do need them, at least you get the Boreka earrings and you make like 1 to 1.2 billion silver per hour. So, you know, it's not a complete waste of time. That's the purpose of Dehkia Pila jail. There are 2 locations where you can place down the lantern and grind it. If you're not aware of the second one, the first one you auto pass to it through the in-game grinding spot UI, so it's fairly easy to find, and the other one I will just fast forward me walking all the way to it. As far as I know, there are only 2 of them, but maybe there are more. For mechanics, it's as straightforward as it gets. This area is literally just wave after wave of monsters. Each wave has normal tiny minions that are humans, so those are human species, and then you have bigger mini elite monsters that drop more trash, and those are demi-human. That seems to be the pattern I noticed. Minions are humans and elites are demi-humans. It's a mixed spot. You can run elixirs, which is what I did because now I have continuous care and I ran elixir rotation, which allows me to put human and demi-human damage. Otherwise, I would not use species artifacts, because if you use human artifacts, you're missing out on damage for the elites, and if you use demi-human artifacts, you're missing out on damage to the minions. And the spot is capped at 1000 AP with a 70% cap, so you might as well just simply run AP. In my case, all-out attack artifacts. Other than wave after wave after wave of monsters, every couple of waves, you're gonna have a small elite. Essentially, you just simply have to dodge the purple telegraphed circles or cones in this case on the ground and you're good to go. Monsters here do hit pretty hard compared to, for example, Dehkia Akman and Dehkia Histria. Mobs here hit harder, and I should be the last person to comment on that because I spent almost every single hour mounted on Heilang. So not like I felt any of that damage, but yeah, you can die, especially monsters here do knockback damage. So if you wanna run resistance, just max out knockback resistance and you're good to go. You're never gonna get CC'd for the entire hour. If you don't have resistance and you do get knocked back like twice, you can die. Mainly from the purple cones from the elite. Every wave, the elite dude, the executioner, he's gonna do like 1 or 2 swings, basically some purple cones on the ground. He's not targetable, and he will do that every single wave. After a couple of waves, he does become targetable, like, you know, the boss, the mini boss, the executioner spawns and you just kill him. It's as simple as that. Maybe it's worth noting, he doesn't have a back, so don't really bother focusing him. You cannot do back attack to him, so it doesn't matter at what angle you hit him. And when he dies, he summons 4 elite minions, which unfortunately, maybe it's a bug, maybe it's not, but those 4 elite minions count towards your wave respawn cap. I don't know how else to put it into words, but essentially you can only leave, I believe, 2 monsters or 3 at most alive for the next wave to spawn, and if you happen to kill this boss exactly at the same time as the rest of the minions, you're gonna be stuck with only 4 elites on screen, because the next wave won't spawn because you have more than 2 or 3 monsters alive, which is kind of dumb in my opinion. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the Dehkia Pila jail. For gear, I had this. Now I have a Boreka set, but regardless, 312-ish AP. I did grind mostly mounted on Heilang, so I'm losing a bit of AP because I cannot absorb rage. Maybe I will make a tamer mounted video soon, because so many people ask me in chat, is this even viable? Is this a meme? It kind of is a meme, but at the same time it is viable. It works, okay? It just works. And I believe that's it. So let's look at numbers. Starting with Garmoth, because that's what most of you use, 21.7 thousand trash per hour is what I averaged. I can do about 22, but I did almost every single one of these hours on stream, other than, let's say, the last one, where I was retesting for Agris and experience. I believe mostly Agris, but regardless, the only hour I did not on Tamer was this one on Guardian, just because I wanted to see what a real class is supposed to pull here, especially since this place is so much like Dehkia Thornwood. I said, okay, maybe Guardian will do really well here, and I got 23.4.5, so most of you can probably get 23, 24 if you try and you don't have a class that sucks. Maybe it's worth also noting that someone in chat told me that Not the Worst got 28,000 trash on Dark Knight and basically insane gear, so hey, you can do more, but I'm pretty sure most of you will do 23, 22, 24. Regardless, 1 billion per hour average silver. I dropped only 2, where are they, 1 and 2 Devo earrings. The rest is kind of boring. Khafra drop rate, pretty bad. 45 average. Dust, again, pretty bad. You can examine the rest yourself. Scrolls, 43 I averaged. It's actually better at Sulfur. Didn't do enough hours, but I'm gonna guess that Sulfur drops more scrolls but less Khafras per hour. That's my estimation, because I will cover that spot next. Kinda funny how I literally pulled Garmoth Global data. 50-ish scrolls, 44 Khafras, 1 billion per hour, 21.2 average trash per hour, with pretty much what I expected. 23, 24, other classes can do that much. 25, 26. Distos 1 every 4.5 hours, pretty much what I got, since I had, I believe, 8.5 hours spent total. I only need one more piece, I think this one, for me to finish my own map, and I didn't get it, so unfortunately I'm gonna be back here in the future. By the way, if you find this content useful and wanna see more of it, maybe leave a like on the video, or a dislike, or a comment. Just engagement, it helps a lot. I should say thanks to everyone who contributed last time. I didn't expect to see 500 likes when I opened YouTube after 2 months and look at the last posted video, the Highlands one. So hey, it turns out people actually did it. On the Excel side, I have a bit more freedom to play with numbers. For example, I can say it's 42%-ish the scaling for blue loot scroll, from just the minions, the humans, the tiny ones, and then the elites drop more trash, the boss drops more trash, so I just bumped it up to 45. That's what I used, converting to blue, which means you would get maybe 16,000 trash per hour on blue. I averaged 21.7, bumped it up to 24. Because again, according to Garmoth, most of you can do 24, so you would get about 1.2 billion silver per hour or 1 billion on blue. You can do either of them, you will see later. They are both viable, let's say. Duodecils, I got 2. If I put 3, this is how the numbers change. If I put 4, assuming somehow you're gonna get 4 Debos, like 1 every 2 hours, maybe you will get that RNG carried. Some of you will, some of you won't. It's almost 1.2 and 1.4. To be fair, the script I use imports the base white value, so the Debos are not quite valued at max price. I could put it myself. I believe that's max price, so do it again. 2, 3, and 4 Debos. That's how numbers change. It's barely any different. Now then, Agris. This one was tedious and annoying to figure out. Long story short, Agris is basically the same as Dehkia Akman and Dehkia Histria. It's about the same efficiency wise, 150 million silver per hour. If you burn, you know how this works at this point. I mean, some of you do. Basically, money made per all of your Agris burned. This is the efficiency number. It's more or less the same as the other two, Akman and Histria. I had 2 sessions where I tested it originally, for those of you interested. This one, which was I believe 20-ish minutes, and then a proper hour on yellow loot scroll, because I intended at first to just track all of the bosses, every single boss that spawns, which is 18 in total in 1 hour. Maybe you're interested in that number. You will spawn about 18, maybe 20 of the big bosses per hour, and the trash from the boss doesn't, you cannot do Agris on the boss, so I have to subtract it. 22,000 trash normal hour, 19.7 is what I was left with after I took out the trash. Monsters killed again, and I burned exactly 80,000 Agris in the session where I tested it. Anyway, long story short, it's you burn 100 Agris per minion, the humans, normal monsters, and 300 Agris per monster for the elites. That's why it was tedious and annoying. It averaged at 123. Regardless, 300,000-ish points per hour you would burn if you do a full hour, and yeah, this. Compared to the other places, as I already said, it's basically the same as Akman, Dehkia Akman, and Dehkia Histria. It's just not good. Don't bother with Agris. Maybe if you wanna burn it and you have no other choice, sure, but it's bad. In terms of loot scroll efficiency, which one should you use, blue or yellow? It's about 67%, TLDR. If you use level 2, you have to burn 2 loot scrolls instead of 1, instead of blue. Then the second one is worth 67%, which in my books is good enough. I would run yellow, but I have plenty. Maybe you don't, so up to you. Experience wise, it's a pretty mediocre spot. I used 25,000 trash per hour for the speed metric. By the way, the big project is almost finished at this point. Maybe within a month I will get to make the video. I even scaled up all of the older areas so they have proper clearing speed. But yeah, this is where it lands experience wise. Skill points, I wouldn't trust them that much. There's still something a bit funky with the numbers in my opinion, but it sucks. So nobody cares about skill points, but they suck. And yeah, we are done. Good riddance. Bye-bye Pilaku jail until I come back and suffer for my map piece. I still feel a bit salty that I didn't drop the map piece, just so I can have it be done and never need to come back here. As I said in the beginning, it's literally, if you need the map pieces, grind here, otherwise don't. One Duodecil every 4 hours, most people who grind for Debos know it's bad, you have better alternatives, so you can't just say, oh, I'm gonna come here because I want Duodecil earrings. Not really. I mean, just generally speaking, if you want to enhance Debos, one every 4 hours, it's pretty bad compared to other alternatives where you can get either one per hour or one every 2 hours. So, I did my hours, I got my numbers. Interesting spot at first, got boring pretty quickly, so we move on into the next one. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time with more Tamer grinding, I suppose. Maybe, as I said, I will make a video on Mounted Tamer at some point, because many people seemed interested in this. Yeah, it is viable in a lot of areas, but TLDR, it's maybe 10 to 20% slower than a normal class. Just keep that in mind if you're actually interested in it. Regardless, I will see you maybe on stream or maybe just on the next video. Bye bye, beautiful people. Have a great evening or morning. See ya.